Mario Bautista, I used to call him. Now he's just main event Mario. Main event, February 7th at the Apex, Mario Bautista. Mario, Happy New Year. How you been?
I'm pretty good. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that has a little ring to it. Main event Mario. So
I
pretty
mean, I,
cool.
I do what I can, bro. And before we get into the good part of that, I've never had to ask you about this before because you haven't lost since 2021, I believe. I haven't known you for 4 years. So coming off your first loss in a long time, I mean, I'm genuinely curious. Like, did that have a big impact on you after the fight? Was that hard to get over?
Uh, no, not this one, because I, I went out there and I gave them my best. I had a good camp. Um, had the best performance I could have. People were pretty cool afterwards, saying they were pretty happy with it. And they loved it. I still got some praise afterwards, but yeah, it just gives you a little reset, afterwards. Like, okay, what's there to look at, and what can we adjust to keep moving forward and keep getting better. And sometimes you need these kind of losses and like little setbacks and stuff to one step back, three steps forward.
I'm curious, like everyone hears, the Dagestani wrestling. I've asked you about it before. I'm sure a million people have asked you about it before. Was it just like the Nurmagomedov strength? Like describe it. Like what is it like grappling one of those guys?
Yeah, it's a combination of strength, technique, uh, flexibility. I guess that's one you don't really see on there too much. And then yeah, just they're just able to keep pressure, stay sticky, and they just seem to, be a move ahead, it seems like. So it wasn't nothing I ever felt before. It's just all in preparation. So
And you said it yourself. Maybe you needed this one. Do you feel like mentally this did something for you heading into this next fight or even going forward?
yeah, definitely. It makes you look back at like your whole camp and things you could do better to get, just that 1% out, just to eke it out just a little bit, because that's what it takes up at the top, like you can only make so much more gains, and as far as like technique and whatnot. So just trying to get better a little about everything. So diet, more watching more videos, getting better sleep, just like the smallest things, game planning better, um, and that's pretty much it. And also like looking back at the fight and uh just going through the fight, with someone that caliber, it just shows me like, man, you're right where you belong. But if we could just give just a little bit more wherever we can find it, just give a little bit more, and let's see what we can do with that.
You're on the wrong end of a decision from beating a title challenger, which essentially just means you're the wrong end of a decision away from being the champion in a way. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like that's something you can really work on compared to going in there and just getting dominated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, like I said, it just showed that I got to feel the very top level guy. Most people think he can become a champion and maybe will be a champion sometime soon. So to get the feel for that, um, it was nice. It was nice. I got to something to work off of.
And when I saw this fight announcement, kind of took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting this one, but on paper, absolute banger. Vinicius Oliveira versus yourself. What was your reaction to this one? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was surprised with the opponent. I guess with the rankings, it's whatever because you know I guess they don't really matter too much. The only thing I was really happy with is that it was a main event. I thought they gave me a main event slot right after losing, so I was pretty happy with that. And I think that's what I need to maybe showcase. And Oliver is a very tough guy. I think flying under the radar a little bit. I think he's pretty good actually. Um, so yeah, it just gives me that opportunity to showcase that I could do 5 rounds, what I could do at 5 rounds, and moving forward, it's only going to benefit me.
Now, did Kyler Phillips play a part in this preparation at all? Having fought him, went the distance. Have any advice for you or insight or anything?
Yeah, no, definitely talk to Kyler about it, and he gave me some advice and stuff, but it's just things we already know. I was there front row in
Yep.
Louisiana when he fought him, so I got to see firsthand. Um, but yeah, I think the 5 rounds is going to play a big part into this fight, and if we can get him into those later rounds, um, I think it's going to benefit me.
And just talk to me about the styles, because not as clear cut as your last one. We knew what was going to happen last time. You knew Umar was going to go right for the legs. This time, not so clear cut. So, what are your thoughts? How do you think this one plays out?
Honestly, I think this is kind of clear cut. I think he's
Yeah.
going to come forward. I think he's going to swing big, and he's going to just try to walk me down. And what he does in every single fight, he just builds a momentum, pressure, and just throws from the hips. So I feel like I kind of know what to expect, which is nice. It's good to game plan around that. But I think it's going to be a banger of a fight. He's tough, um, and I respect him. I think he has, as far as technique goes, I think he's all over the place. But as far as being athletic and having good eyes and seeing things and just overall toughness, I think it just makes for a great fight.
Now, I am interviewing Vinicius tomorrow or over the weekend or something like that. So, it doesn't have to be shit talk by any means. It doesn't have to be anything, but any message you want me to relay to the man himself?
Oh no, I hope that he's training hard, stays healthy, and that we can have a banger of a fight. I think he might say different. I think he's more on the shit talking
Yeah.
side, just to get himself hyped up a little bit. I think that's what he needs. Uh, I think it's personally a little funny, but it is whatever. By the end of it, it doesn't even matter because he's gonna shake my hand. I can guarantee that. So it is what it is.
All right, but like face offs, he comes in real hot. He's nose to nose. He's all, how do you react to that compared to like, a more civil gentleman's match?
Dude, just like this, just like a little grin. It's just like, because I know what he's doing it for. It's to hype himself up. He doesn't even know me. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm gonna try not to laugh in his face, but maybe maybe we'll piss him off more. And there's gonna be a language barrier. What am I gonna say? So it is
Hola,
what
adios. I know the basics.
that's Spanish, bro. He's Brazilian. He's
Yeah, but they get
Portuguese.
it's like the same kind of thing. Portuguese, Spanish. It's all similar.
I'm gonna have to learn some words here and there. So we'll see.
Yeah, you gotta learn some smack talk. Show up, throw them off guard. You want to know what to
Right?
do.
I'm
And
gonna throw something in there. Something doesn't even have to do with fighting, just something to throw him off. He's gonna be like, "What? What did he say?"
I'll be waiting for the clip, bro. But all healthy after this one goes your way. Get the win. What are your plans for 2026 inside the octagon?
Fine. Yeah, all healthy. We'll see. I think around summertime, I like to get back in there. Uh, get a little break because these two are back to back. From my last one to this, and it's a 5 rounder. So um, we'll start looking around the summertime, I think. And if anyone's open, that's maybe in the top five. Get myself back up there. I think that'd be a perfect time.
Now, are you looking at? I guess it's a week or two before your fight, UFC 325. There's a couple big bantamweights on that one. Song Yadong, O'Malley, Umar versus Figgy. Are you watching those as potential next opponents?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll be keeping an eye on those. You have to. So, and it's a big shakeup, like things change so fast from the end of last year, or yeah, last year now to now, and now we have all these bantamweight fights. Who knows, what it'll look like around summertime. And I'm sure there's going to be fights in between there too. So yeah, just whoever's in those top five rankings. I know a win over Vinicius will shoot me right back to where I was, and we can get whoever there.
Well, I got to ask you who wins both those fights. Who do you think takes that, Song Yadong or your old buddy Sean O'Malley?
I'm gonna have to go with Sean. I think he's a little bit um, more creative with the striking. Uh, I think Song Yudong, he's gonna have to wrestle because I don't think he can strike with Sean, even though that's Song Yudong's kind of like strength. But I see Sean winning that, probably hurting him too. And Umar versus Wisfigi, yeah, I see Umar just dominating him, probably even maybe getting a finish, just like with a submission or something.
Hmm.
But yeah, those are my picks in that.
Now, that Umar fight, is that one you'd ever want back? And if so, would you want it to be 5 rounds, I assume?
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a fun one to get back. I would have a totally different kind of training camp for that. And I think those 5 rounds would definitely benefit me. I left that cage. I was just, in my head, just upset, like, dang, like, just upset. And then I just kept hearing, like, oh man, you had that dude so tired. He couldn't even talk on the mic. People wanted, those fourth and fifth rounds just to see. And yeah, I think it definitely benefit me.
And I saw you kind of talk about this. Obviously, I know you were on Merab, watching Merab lose to Jan. I mean, I was shocked to say the least in a way. After it being a month or two, can you believe it yet?
We're gonna have to. That was a impressive performance by Yon. I had him leading into that fight. I had Merab. I
Yeah.
thought Merab was gonna dominate him the same way, all 5 rounds. But yeah, I was completely wrong on that. So that's MMA for you.
Now the trilogy is inevitable. I don't know. I gotta. Who do you think takes that trilogy? I now it's a toss up for me.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Because Merab, what he did fight 4 times, like in a calendar year.
Yeah, yeah, 4
So
times. Yeah.
maybe it's that. Maybe he'll take a little break, come back. But who knows? Maybe Jan really did have an injured hand in that first fight. Really, or maybe that really stopped him. So he might have Merab's number. So I don't know. We'll see. That'll be interesting. But if Jan wins, then there's lots of rematches on the way too. You have Sean O'Malley. That's a big money fight too. Uh, you have that Corey Sandhagen rematch
Mhm.
that could happen as well. And then who knows if Son, you know, gets the W, there's another rematch right there. So I don't know. I still have that opportunity to shake things up. So we'll see.
Well, and you were just saying too how quickly the division has changed, how differently it looks now compared to last year. My question now is like, set your pick. Who's your prediction to be champion end of 2026? And of course, if you think it works out that way, you can say yourself.
And the 26. You know what? I see Jan still having it this
Hmm.
this whole year. Yeah, I think it's gonna take me, maybe 1 or 2 fights to even get into that position. And we'll see if we can get it done in 2026. But yeah, I see Jan holding on to it for a little bit.
So you're saying Mario Bautista versus Petr Yan early 2027 for the bantamweight strap, maybe.
That that could be a possibility. I'm hoping. I'm hoping by then we're right in that lineup and I get my shot. So
Well,
so I'm
I
hoping for.
I got to ask then, how does that potential fight look? Because on paper, like your current fight, like a lot of fights, great fight. Would love to see that.
Yeah, I'd have to make an MMA fight. I'd have to take a little bit of like what Umar did to me, some striking. Uh, that'd be definitely a tough fight, and you know that's right because he's the champion, so it'd be a pretty good fight,
Just bring out the Jose Aldo playbook, man.
right? Chop him down,
Here's some booze, get that belt, get the payday. Who cares, man?
right?
I got a fun one for you here, okay? And you might have seen this. I'm sure you've seen it before, but saw it on Instagram this week. Look at this throwback picture.
Oh
Young
hell yeah,
Mario, Kyler Phillips, and Sean O'Malley. Does this bring back some feels? Was this like the golden era in a way for you?
man, that was the very beginning, man. That's crazy. Yeah, I think I was 20. Sean was 19. Kyler was 18. He was the youngest out of us, and what I remember is all the other guys that were in the UFC at that time. We were just doing rounds for those guys. It was guys like Yadi Mesa, Tanquino Mendez, John Moraga, um, Luke Sanders, just like these 35ers and 25ers. And man, dude, we were getting wrecked. We were just getting held down like every single round, just getting thrown in there, just getting beat up. Um, so yeah, those were definitely definitely the fun days. Young kids just getting tossed in there. But and it's crazy, because we all have the same dream, get into the UFC. And back then we're I- probably still all amateurs actually. So for us to come this far and you know, at one point be, probably all top 10, top 15, it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy to look back at that.
Yeah, you're all top 15 right now. And like with
Yeah.
that, like you said it's crazy, but like, is there a part of you that's like, obviously it's awesome, but is it kind of like weird, surreal? Like, it's a very real possibility. Mick or Sean could be playing some funny business and say, time to fight you three. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've been hearing that for like the past, oh, what is it? Like 3 years now
I've
since
been
we all
asking
kind
you
of
for 2 years. So yeah.
it's been a minute, so I don't know. The only way I see that happening is if like we're in the top five, because there's plenty of other options out there, and I don't know why they would do that. It's like why? Like, why would we have to fight each other, especially if we're outside the top 5? There's plenty of other people that we could fight. So, but if it was for like number 1 contender or the title, I think like, hey, we pretty much scrap in the gym all the time anyway. So
Yeah,
why
let's
not?
make
Why
it.
not
Let's
do
make
it?
a payday off it.
Yeah, let's get some money and give them a show.
Last thing I want to ask you. I mean, I've met you a few times now. You're all business, social media, all business, fighting. I want to know a little bit about you personally. Nothing crazy, but I'm just wondering, like, how do you spend your free time, your holidays? Like, what goals do you have for yourself personally? 2026. Just give me a little bit of a inside of Mario Bautista.
Well, that's the thing, like years ago, like leading up to this point, I used to do a bunch of things, little hobbies like fishing, camping. I got like an old '85 Silverado that I was building, in my garage, and it's just like these, I wouldn't say distractions, but like little things that take away from your gym time, recovery time. So I kind of had to like put an end to all that, which kind of sucks. So at this moment, it's just strictly all training, all MMA. Come home, rest. Free time that I have, spend it with my daughter, spend it with my family, doing things on the weekend. Because honestly, with the schedule that I have, it's just like, man, you're just so tired. Like when you have like any time off, and then during camps, you got interviews, you got to go do medicals, you got to do all these things, you got to do little commercials for the gym, you have social media obligations for the UFC, just things like that. So it does take up a little bit of time, but the moment I retire, man, I'm gonna have some fun, and who knows what I'll do. Definitely buying a dirt bike and just going out there, or a razor or something. That's the plan, so we'll see.
The ritualistic retire fishing trip with Clay Guida is in your stars, I imagine.
Yeah, a little house on the prairie kind of deal. I think it'd be pretty cool.
Love it, man. Just had to ask. I like to get a little personal sometimes. But Mario, as always, man, appreciate the time. Happy New Year. Anything you want to say to all your fans before I get you out of here?
Just want to thank you guys for the support. Want to thank you for giving me this platform, talk about the fights. Want to thank the gym and Iridium Sports Agency, and this new gym sponsor that we have, F3 Energy. So thank you guys.
Love it, bro. Well, ladies and gentlemen, February 7th, don't miss it. Main event, Mario Bautista, Vinicius Oliveira. Going to be a banger. Mario, my man, kick some ass, all right?
Awesome. Thank you, brother.